Okay, we are live. All right, give me just a minute. There we go. And that's it. All right, hi everybody, it's Tori here. So I just wanted to come to you today just for a tiny little bit of time. Sorry, actually need these. Hi, so this is Tori, and I wanted to come to you today with just a question of thought. And the question I have today is, do you know who you are? Do you really know who you are? And why do I ask that question? Because very many people, and by many people, I mean many people, that most of the people I've met, they don't really know who they are. And it's not that I'm not talking about the name, because, well, everybody knows their name, at least. Most people should know their name. But I'm talking about in a concept that, do you know what you're capable of? Do you know who you are from the inside out? Think about it. Do you really know who you are? So, thinking about this, I've been thinking about this, I think, since last night. And I realized that usually when we stumble or when we think about it and think really hard about the people that we are, or the individuals, or who we are as a person, who we are as business owners, or children, or sons and daughters, or even faith-wise as a Christian. When you think about whether you really know who you are, you sit back and pose that question over and over again, because so many times the surroundings, the people around us have defined who we are, and it is not intentional. Because if you know who you are, then then nobody else, or no circumstance, or no situation is going to define who you really are. Do you get it? I have a feeling I'm speaking in parables. Well, not yet. So, what am I going at here? If we've probably seen, let me just put or illustrate something picture-wise. We've probably seen a picture that has gone around online, a picture with a cat standing in front of a mirror, and instead of seeing the reflection of the cat, you see a reflection of a lion, right? You've seen, if you haven't seen that, go on Google in images. Probably that image should be there somewhere, because that's the image which represents the way we can look at ourselves. When you stand in the mirror, when you stand in front of the mirror in the morning, what do you see? Who do you see? When you go out to work and things are not going as expected or as you anticipated, who do you see? When you're going through, or what do you see? When you're going through a situation, what are you thinking? Have I already failed? How is everything going to be better? And most of the time we never really get to know, this. And that affects our capabilities, that affects the extent to which we can impact the world, and the extent to which we can grow as individuals. And I'm not talking about just as individuals, even as entrepreneurs, even as business owners, even for those who work for other individuals, or who are still in a cubicle and work for someone else. That defines who you are. Once your boss comes and tells you, you did not do these accounts well, you're such a failure in this field. Or you go to HR and they tell you, and they probably say, they usually before they bring out the good, if they ever do bring out the good, which is good, they usually start with the shortcomings. Oh, you did this, you did this, you did this, and probably you won't be eligible for a salary increment or something. I'm talking about individuals who are employed by someone. And that is okay. Now, for a person who knows what you're capable of and who you are, that situation is not going to define you. But if you do not know who you are, it is definitely going to define you. The world is going to tell you who you are not. Because trust me, you're not failure. You're not a bad person. Now, what can we do to change that? Well, it has very much to do with your mindset. It has a lot to do with how you think about yourself, what you think of, the things you are probably putting in your brain or the things you're feeding your mind with. And when I say feeding your mind with, I mean the food for your mind, what are you reading? What are you watching? Who are you listening to? Who are you hanging out with? Those things around you affect so much the decisions you make every day unconsciously without you even realizing it. Let me give you an example. When I was younger, I have a very lovely family. When I was younger, I had cousins. We would goof around a lot, and they would probably tell me, you have a big heel, and this is just something funny or just made to make you feel small. But you're young, you don't know any better. So each and every time I would look at my heel, I would think it's abnormal because everybody told me it was abnormal. Because when I looked at my family or my cousins or my sister's feet, I did not see their heel as big as mine. But guess what? It was all here. It was like mind tricks. Right now, when I look at my heel, I'm seeing that it is normal, right? Because I've grown out of that and I've come to program my mind that I think I know who I am. I know what it looks like. But trust me, if you do not know something, they will tell you color blue is red and you will believe it. But it's all up here. So what are you programming your mind with? What are you thinking about with? Sorry. Hey, honey, I'm ready for you. So, yeah, I'm just here for just another couple of minutes. So, what do I want you to go away with today? I want you to change the way you think about yourself. But right before that, sorry about that. Right before that, let me silence that for a minute. Okay, I'm sorry about that. So right before I go away, I wanted to give you another story. So when I was younger, still, because I've had the experiences in this notion of who I've really come to discover who I am, and I have come to accept who I am and not let the world or anyone define me. But how has that come along? So I told you earlier about, goofing around and having to realize now that actually my feet are normal. They're not abnormal as people made them fun of. But just to put it out there, let me give you another story. When I was younger, I had this very, very beautiful, radiant skin. It is right now, which is good, but it hasn't always been like this. So earlier on, when I was growing up or coming to realize who I was, both as a Christian, as an individual, just last year, I tried using all sorts of things. My skin really went bad. 4 or 5 years ago, it really went horrible. I had zits left, right, and center everywhere. And I got from that kid who had this very beautiful skin that people would say, oh, you have such a huge skin, and to this very bad skin that I just had to accept. For some reason, I just came to terms with it. It's like things happen. People have good skin, and then 1 or 2 days later or a year later, skin goes bad. And I thought that is the way it was. And trust me, when I looked in the mirror, I saw that girl that everybody saw, this girl with zits, pimples everywhere, this very, very bad skin. And for some reason, I thought that was okay, right? It was not, because it was all up here. Despite all the good things that I used to that would work for anybody else, they would not work for me, because when I looked in the mirror, I still saw that. I still saw that very, very bad skin. I still saw that person. I still saw me as the person who has that very bad skin, right up until I got married. So after I got married, I'm like, there must be something I'm doing wrong, or there must be something that I can change. At that time, I was reading about the power of thought. I was watching videos and listening to inspirational speakers about how our mind works, about how our thoughts really, work and define us. So I came back home and, after thinking about it like for a couple of weeks, I told my husband, you know what, honey, I think I'm ready to do something different. It's like, whatever you choose. So I choose just one product, and say, I'm going to trust, but not trust in this product. I'm going to trust that my skin is already fine. By just using this product, I'm just already stepping into that skin that I already have. And it worked. It worked. You won't believe. And the reason I'm saying that why that worked wasn't just the product, was the mindset. It's because I had used it before. The same product. I had used the same product on my skin and it didn't work. But when I changed my mindset and started going to the mirror and seeing this girl with a beautiful new skin, that's when the product started working. Okay, after some time, I didn't actually need the product anymore. I didn't. And that is before it even went completely clear. That is before I finished half of the treatment of the product that I had. And it was a normal over-the-counter product, not even a prescription for the skin from a dermatologist or something. It was all up here always. I always thought of myself as that person who has that particular old dreadful. But once I started changing my mind and seeing me who I really was, not what people saw me as, or not what the world had defined this condition that I had as. You come to people and they tell you have acne. That's it runs here. Oh, I saw this person so and so has it. So you're also supposed to have it for such an amount of period of time. But when I started waking up in the morning and seeing myself as a totally different new person, it worked. It worked. Right now, I don't use it. And my skin has never gone back to having the things that it used to have. It just grows even clearer and clearer. My friends would ask, what have you been using that you were not able to use a couple of years ago? And I'm like, nothing. But when I wake up and look in the mirror, I see this person with a radiant skin. I don't see the things I used to have. And what actually triggered that was one day I was talking to my husband and I'm like, what do I do? It's like, about what? What about my skin? And it's like, what? There is nothing wrong with your skin. And I was like, say, what? Because all along in the mirror, that's what I was seeing. But then looking at myself through someone else's eyes, like, and of course, this is if you're hanging around the right people, the people who are actually encouraging you, and they're not only encouraging you, but they boost you. They want to make, like, they are the people who, there are those kinds of relationships that you have that are not there to destroy you, but rather to encourage you to go higher and to be a better person. So that is the kind of person, or those are the kind of people that you need to be around with. Surround yourself with such people, then you'll excel in life. Then your life circumstances will be different, right? Instead of looking at yourself as a failure, you'll see yourself as a success because of the things you put around with, like the things you feed your mind with, the books you read, the movies you watch, the things you listen to, the music you listen to, the people you surround yourself with. And I'm not saying any kind of thing is right. No. I'll be right with you in a minute, honey. So, like, I'm not just talking about this, I'm also talking about the people that are around you. If you surround yourself with negative people, you're gonna be negative. And if whoever is watching this, you're that kind of person who is just always hurting people and always saying the negative things, stop it. Stop it. It's childish. It's immature. Because it doesn't help anyone. Usually, the people who aim at hurting other people are hurting people. So go deal with your heart. Do not pour it out or do not take it out on other people. Because by speaking negativity into the lives of others, you're actually affecting them without knowing you're affecting them. You're probably making yourself feel better, but at the expense of hurting someone. And there is nothing that hurts more than words. So then again, I'm not speaking to you people, but if you do not know who you are, work towards getting to know who are you? Who do you see in the mirror? Are you the cat? Are you the lion in front of the mirror that when they look in the mirror, they see a cat? Or are you the cat in front of the mirror who when they look into the mirror, they see a lion? Because that is the way you're supposed to be looking at things. You're supposed to be taking this world minute, second by second, every hour, like a lioness, like a lion. Yes, I hope I'm making sense. But all this comes to is, what are you thinking about? What are you feeding yourself with? Who are you? Who are you as a person? Who are you as an individual? All right, gotta go. Whatever I come up with next time, I'll definitely broadcast it either later today or tomorrow. But for now, do you really know who you are? Get to know who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, then the world is going to tell you who you are not. All right, that's story. Bye-bye.